Welcome back, my friend. Whether you like it or not, whether you agree or not, you are unconditionally accepted, unconditionally loved, and unconditionally believed in. This is a secret that you have been keeping from yourself. And if you dare to admit it, if you dare to acknowledge it, you will shift inevitably. Hey there, welcome back. And in today's video, I want to share with you something that I generally keep only to my private coaching clients, but right now I believe it needs to be accessible to everybody and I need to make it public. This is your inner family constellation, internal family constellation. And if you have found it hard to believe in yourself, if you have found it hard to suit yourself whenever you feel low, if you have found it hard to acknowledge yourself for everything that you did, if you have found it hard to let go and release and relax from the stress that you experience on a daily basis, with what I'm about to share, this will no longer be the case in your life. Because here is the truth, my friend. Whether you like it or not, it does not matter whether you like it or not. You are already in a relationship with yourself. This is the first primordial initial relationship you have. Your consciousness, your awareness of being, the fact that right now you're hearing me speak, you're listening to me, you're aware. This fact that you're aware is in a relationship with the way you see yourself, your concept of self, who you think of yourself to be. And unless that relationship is healthy, it's really challenging and hard to shift. And if you've checked out one of my previous videos where I speak about what makes it hard to transform, what makes it hard to shift, it is literally the inner child. Unless you have a healthy relationship with the inner child that is based on trust, that is based on love, self-care, self-acceptance, self-acknowledgement, that is based on nurturing, your inner child wouldn't believe you in the shift you want to experience in your life. And now, if we know that whether you like it or not, you are already in a relationship with yourself, the only question that remains to be answered is whether that relationship is healthy, whether it is unhealthy, and if it's unhealthy, how to make it healthy. And for that purpose, I want you to look at that diagram. This diagram, it's something that I'll be coming back and again and again and again in many of my videos, because the deeper you understand that diagram, the easier it will be to make all of your internal relationships healthy. Now, to make this more clear and precise, and this is the secret that you have been keeping from yourself, that you are in a relationship with yourself. And now it's time to admit it. It's time to accept that. It's time to take care of your own self in your own relationship to yourself. Because the only way that you can change what you look at, what you see on the outside, is if you first change how you look at what is already on the outside. You need to change how you look at things for the things that you're looking at to change. And this starts from your own relationship to self. Now, going back to that diagram, here is your I am consciousness. I am awareness. I am presence. I am the presence of my awareness. What is that? The fact that you're aware. Whether you're aware that you're aware or you're not aware that you're aware, there is this primordial background awareness that is constantly operating. It's constantly registering, acknowledging your experience, your perceptual experience of your thoughts and beliefs, your experiential internal experience of your feelings and emotions, This awareness, this primordial awareness, is registering everything that you're going through, negative, positive, neutral, whatever it is. Okay? And if you want to become undisturbed, independent from the circumstances you want to experience, that awareness needs to awaken. You need to awaken to the fact that you're aware, and you need to use that awareness consciously. And this is where that diagram will help you. To make it more practical and easy to understand, how to practice what's in that diagram, how to become consistent and devoted to having inner conversations with yourself and taking control of your state of being. On the left side, we have your father. Your father, we can think of him as first, your biological father, all the beliefs that you have inherited for what it means to be a man, to be a father. And then on a deeper level, your father is that awareness of being. It's the fact that you're aware. It's your ability to discern the truth from what is not true. It is your ability to reject negative thought patterns, destructive models of behavior. It is your ability to drop whatever is not preferable that comes into your experience. Because your father, through the power of discernment, can discern between the truth, what's positive, what is healthy, what is in the benefit of yourself and others, from what is not true, what is detrimental to your self concept, what makes you feel weak and disempowered, doubtful, scared, worried. The Father has the power of discernment. And with the quality, with the consciousness of your Father, you can discern what is true from what is not true. And your Father has an awareness to your I am, to your presence, to your awareness of being, to what is right now happening in your field. Okay? On the right side, there is your mother, and she also has a relationship to your awareness of being. Your mother has a different quality. If the father is the all wise, all discerning, all nurturing with the ability to speak the truth, then your mother is the all caring, all accepting, all patient part of your consciousness that gives you the ability to accept any and all feelings, whether they are negative or positive. Your mother, that aspect of your consciousness, gives you the ability, gives you the power to let go, to surrender, to soothe yourself, to take care of yourself, to love yourself unconditionally, to accept any and all mistakes, to be less critical, to be less judgmental, to be more accepting and more forgiving. Your mother has all these qualities. And you can use your mother, that state of consciousness, that quality of your consciousness, to be in contact with the I am, with the presence of your being, the presence of your field of consciousness. Whatever comes inside of you, inside that field as an experience. If it's negative, for example, you can invoke the mother, and with the quality of care, of love, of forgiveness, of patience, you can accept that first initial reaction to a circumstance, which is not preferable. You can then let go and surrender from that initial reaction and the belief system and the feeling it triggers. And then you can use the fathering consciousness to decide what is true for you, okay? To discern between what is not true, the reactive state of being that is only there to keep you safe, from what is preferable, what do you prefer, what is your right to claim, what are you manifesting simply? Your desired self-concept. If both the mother and the father play a role and you use them, it's like a reparenting. You use the mother, the loving figure, and the father, the all-wise figure that provides a direction to you. If you use both of these aspects of your consciousness to be in a relationship with your I am, with everything that comes to your consciousness, as an experience, as a thought form, as a feeling, then you're able to take control of your state of being. Then you're able to converse with the inner child. Now think about it for a moment. In between your I am, your consciousness, And in between the inner child, which we can call the inner child your past, we can call it the complex of all of your feelings so far that you have experienced so far in your experience, there comes the inner teenager. The inner teenager, this is simply your analytical mind. And the inner teenager sometimes is attached to being stubborn, sometimes is attached to being right. The inner teenager always has this need for independence. He doesn't care about the truth, he only wants to be right, okay? And now the father needs to be in a relationship with the inner teenager to break through its bias, so that then the mother and the father can speak to the inner child, your subconscious mind, and you can make your inner child through loving, patient, and directed, specific and precise leadership. You can make the inner child trust, believe in you, so that you can then empower it with whatever state of consciousness you want until you reach the state of conviction. And this happens through inner conversations. Now I know I'm looking at this a big picture. It's a big picture and it may be a little bit abstract, but if you like what you're hearing, and let me know in the comments if you like what you're hearing, I'll make a video on each of those aspects so that you can understand them one by one and you can work with them so that you can take control of your state of being. That's the purpose of using that diagram. But so going back to the fundamentals of it, you have these four aspects of yourself inside: the father, the mother, the teenager, and the inner child. And your I am. Everything is happening in your I am. You're aware of it, whether you like it or not. And now you need to make all of these connections, all of these internal relationships healthy. Your mother needs to be in a relationship with the inner child. Your father needs to keep the teenager at bay so that it doesn't influence you, because he is stubborn. He is looking for independence. And he will always fight with you so that you won't be able to transform your feelings however you want. And your father needs to have discernment talking with the teenager so that it can give leadership and direction to the inner child. This connection needs to be direct at some point. You need to break through the analytical mind, which doesn't really care about your desires. It's attached to the outcome, it's attached to physical reality, to the circumstances you experience. And if you're trying to manifest something, if you're trying to live from the end, your analytical mind will only be there as a walk in front of you. You need to break it consistently so that you can speak to the inner child, the subconscious mind, and convince it lovingly and with leadership to believe in what you want to believe in. And this, my friend, is the internal relationship that you are already in, whether you like it or not. You are already in that relationship. Does that make sense? The faster you accept that, the faster you have control over your consciousness. Whether you like it or not, that is the first primordial relationship. Hear me out. You are already in a relationship with yourself, of yourself. The teenager, the inner child, the mother and the father. There is this internal relationship ongoing and it needs to be healthy. It needs to be healthy for you to have control over your state of consciousness and over your reality. Okay? And now to just conclude this video, even though it's a big concept, an abstract concept, I trust that you have been with me and you have followed me so far. Okay, you've been with me. And I want to conclude it with asking you two questions, which will help you expand your awareness, okay? How does your inner mother treat your inner child? Is it with love? Is it with care, with patience and forgiveness, with acknowledgement also? Or is it with self-criticism, with impatience, with self-judgment and self-condemnation? Is it the naughty, bad child that you need to make it behave? Or is it the child that's innocent and you can love it for what it is? Let me know in the comments. The more awareness you have of that, the easier it will be to make that relationship healthy. Okay? And the second question, how does your father communicate with the teenager and inner child? Is it forceful? Is he forceful? Is he antagonistic? Is he trying to punish the inner child whenever it's not behaving? Or is it with discernment, loving discernment, wisdom gathered from the previous experiences in your past, and using it to communicate with the teenager rationally so that it can move the teenager aside and then get in contact directly with the inner child and let the inner child that it is believed in, that it deserves whatever it wants, okay? How is that relationship for you? What does it look like? Let me know again in the comments. This is the challenge I have for you. This is the task, the practice. The more awareness you have of how the mother and the father communicate with the teenager in your child, the more you know what is asked of you to do as internal work. And it will help you, only help you. Because again, I'm telling you, unless you make all of these relationships healthy, you wouldn't have control over your consciousness and you wouldn't be able to shift. Okay? When you make those relationships healthy, you will have control over your consciousness, and it is already happening if you've been staying with me. And you will be in the process of shifting. You're getting there. You're doing an amazing job. So thank you for staying with me. You've come so far. I appreciate you so much. This has been the message from me today. Like this video, comment down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it, and I would love to see you around so that we can shift to the timeline that all of us know we deserve. And it is our own right to claim it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day for now. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.